Wow, I'm looking to see everybody who's here. I guess I've been rated. Am I doing this right? Can people hear me? Very good. So Jason's here. Hello. Jesus Lord is here. Hello. Homesteading Pastor, Voonchild, Craze Family Homestead, Laurie's World. I think I'm getting everybody. But that's about all I'm going to do. We got the kids with us, and they are wearing their suspenders. One of our kids is on a trip over to Jan. So hopefully she will take good care of our little chicken. I'm not sure what she plans to do with it, but so Mama Goose wanted to be on this, but they've made her work a little bit late, so she should be here at about 7:30. Hello, Jules. You know, Jules is really the one who brought me into all this mess. I would probably be sitting at home reading gardening books or seed catalogs right now, but Jewel gave me a life outside of just the seed catalogs. So, man, I was thinking I was going to be here by myself with nobody around to say anything to, and I'm still not sure what to say, but I can babble for an hour. Yeah, MB Heritage, thank you for being here. I'll never forget my first. I really won't. Well, you know, Jules actually, I went to his site and I just subscribed, and then he subscribed to mine, and then somehow we got talking, and he sent me some okra seeds, and I planted them a little bit too late for them to do any good. I got okra about maybe that tall, but I don't think we have enough heat here really. We're in zone 5B. Depending upon the year, we don't get a whole lot of hot weather. We had a lot of hot weather this year, but sometimes it can vary. So I'm just looking to see if, you know, these chats, the way they go is everybody talks. Hey, Cajun Hydroponics is here. Lori is here. Cajun Hydroponics. I got to say this before Will It Grow shows up, if he does. You really gave him a run for his money the other day. That was good to see. Welsh Family Farms, thank you for being here. I think Jason, I think I said hi to you already. Twin Brooks Farms, Twin Brook Acres. Hey, I got to tell you, my neighbors on both sides, both farms, are owned by the Books family. So whenever I see your name pop up, I always think it's my neighbors have found my YouTube page. But no, I'm glad to have you along. Joe Serrano, I know you were over at Jan's. I haven't met you yet. I'll take care of that after we get off the live here. Arkansas Woodcutter's here. I didn't see him. Hello, Arkansas Woodcutter. Thank you for showing up. Homestead Aquarius. Good to have you here. So, I don't know, as you guys are talking amongst yourself there, I'm going to put the kids away. Um, as you guys are talking amongst yourself, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat a little bit. But I thought I'd take maybe a second to give you a little bit of where I come from as a gardener and as a what my goals are as a gardener. Um, we've been doing this for a long time. I've lived in 3 different locations as an adult, and I've had gardens at each one of them. Mostly flower gardens. We didn't really do much with vegetable gardens until we got out to this property. And I planted my backfield. I planted about a quarter of it about 14 years ago. And I thought I was going to die. I was just in really bad shape. And I found out that I was diabetic, and the diabetes was making it so that I really couldn't handle being out working, and I was thirsty all the time. I was just sick as a dog. And when I got done planting, the corn rows, when they came up, they were like this. They were all crossed over like a drunk had planted them. And so I decided back then that if I was going to garden, I was going to have to do it with machinery because I couldn't handle walking. Well, then I did find out I was diabetic, and since I've been on medication, I've been doing much better. But hey, Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, thank you for coming out. It is my first live, and there's 25 of you. That's pretty cool. Micro Farmer, you were the first one out here, and I didn't say hi to you till now. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's kind of where I came from. And then my brother-in-law, Pappy, talked me into doing some market farming, and we've been doing that for quite some time. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger every year. And every year I buy a little bit more equipment, and every year we plant a little bit more garden. My dream is maybe to add a few more acres. I've even talked to my neighbors about it, and they seem to be okay with it. So, and Micro Farmer, I got to tell you, one of your last videos where you talked about not working too long and retiring early enough that you can enjoy life, that really got me thinking. So I appreciate you posting that. If you haven't been over to Micro Farmer's site, go do it. Go to his channel, check it out. And a lot of good stuff there. And Voon Chell's site as well. She does that, those protein shakes or whatever they are. I follow some of them, made one of them, and it's pretty good stuff. So if you got a question or a comment that you'd like me to comment on, I'd be happy to do that. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. If you guys haven't checked out the Vanilla Gorilla, I can't remember the full name of that site. Just missing my mind. They did a pretty good game last night, a reverse Family Feud. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Arkansas Woodcutters here. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Hickory Croft Farm, welcome. Thank you for coming. I was just saying at the beginning of the live, I had the kids up here, and I said we adopted one out to Jan, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with it. It should have come. We sent it Saturday, I believe, so it should get to you fairly soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with it too. Has anybody heard if Annie's doing better? She had the COVID. She's had it for a little bit. So Wondering if anybody's heard from her. Well, as long as I got you all here and I'm looking for something to fill the time with, I want to tell you a little story. This is something that happened here on the farm, and it wasn't at my farm, but down the street from me, I got some neighbors who wanted to raise pigs, and so they got a couple of pigs and got three females, three sows, and they wanted to breed them. Well, my neighbor up the road at that time, he was a pig farmer, and so he, my neighbor brought his three sows up, and he says to my neighbor Mike, he says, "Is there any way that you can breed these sows? Maybe we can build our herd a little bit." And Mike says, "Well, sure." He said, "But you got to bring them here first thing in the morning." So the next morning, my neighbor got up and realized that the only thing he had to bring the pigs over to Mike's with was a station wagon. So he cleaned those pigs up, washed them all up, cleaned them all up, put them in the back of the station wagon, drove them up to Mike's house. And they did their thing. And so my neighbor said to Mike, he says, "How do I know if it took or not?" And Mike says, "Well, tomorrow morning, you look out in the field, and if those pigs are in the mud, it didn't take. But if the pigs are up on the grass, it took." So the next morning, my neighbor gets up, he looks out, and there's them pigs. They're all wallowing in the mud. And so my neighbor went out, washed them all up, put them back in the station wagon, took them out to Mike's. They did their thing with the hog, and the next thing you know, he's got them back at the farm. And the next morning, he looks out, and they're wallowing in the mud. Well, this happened all week long. And then on Saturday morning, he woke up and he said to his wife, he says, "Listen, I do not want to even get out of bed this morning. But if those pigs are wallowing in the mud, I got to take them down to Mike's. So could you just look out and see if those pigs are in the mud or if they're on the grass?" So his wife looked out the window. She came back. He says, "Well, are they in the grass or are they in the mud?" She said, "Neither." He says, "Well, where are they?" She says, "They're all in the station wagon and one of them's honking the horn." So that's all I got. Well, there's an awful lot of you here. I don't even know. I don't even see the number here. But well, thank you, Micro Farmer, and all the rest of you for your response. How did I get the name Chicken Johnny? Well, back in the 1950s, there was a bar in Niles. And in the bar, the bartender allowed his chickens to run in the front of the bar. And so they called the bar Chicken Johnny's. Well, many years ago, my brother-in-law's dad used to talk about that bar a lot. And so many years ago, I got chickens. We had about 140 chickens at one point. And so my brother-in-law started calling me Chicken Johnny, and it stuck. There are parts of town where I can go and people call me Chicken Johnny. Some of my customers, I've got a heating company, and some of my customers call me Chicken Johnny. So that's how I got the nickname. And then when we started doing the market, we just thought that would be a good name. So we did it, and it stuck. So nobody ever called me Johnny before before then, but now just about everybody either calls me Chicken Johnny or they call me Johnny. Um, so that's how that worked out. Yeah, Ozark, that was a lot of chickens. We were getting several dozen eggs a day, and we were selling them. But the problem is when you get if you buy egg cartons, the egg cartons cost you almost what the eggs cost in town. I think it's like 60 cents a piece for egg cartons if you buy them in quantity. And as long as they don't call you Johnny Boy like shit. So, we were selling for four to 450 a dozen for eggs. We had Aracanas, most of them. And it just got to the point where, it costs us more money to feed the chickens and to take care of them than we were getting for them. So Uncle Chicken Johnny, I've got something headed here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the Shed Wars drawing. Life More Reloaded, you take care. Have a good night. I've been looking forward to the Shed Wars when you guys pick teams to see how that all works out. I think it's great that you've been able to kind of keep this thing kind of loose and incorporate a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. It's pretty good. Yeah, Micro Farmer, we used to try it. Like our regular people, we'd sell our eggs, we just get recycled cartons. But if we sell them in town, we have to candle them and we have to put them in new packages and they have to be washed. And it's a lot of work. Doesn't make sense to candle eggs when you don't have a rooster, but that's what they want. So that's what we tell them. So it's hard to keep up with this chat. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people coming and going, and so I don't know. Yeah, I'm reading Hickory Farms comment there. It's getting bad here too. We've got one of our farm markets in the next town over. I've had people request that we try to sell there, and it's the eggs. We wouldn't even right now. We've got 13 chickens, so and they're not laying because we've got short days and it's cold. So the chickens, we get 1 or 3 eggs a day, something like that. And when we go to the farmers markets to sell vegetables, they want to know now. They want to know our address. They want to know all of the addresses of the fields that we're growing in. Because there's such a problem with people going to the market, buying vegetables, and then selling them at the farmers market. And you can go downtown Chicago, a little bit south of downtown Chicago. There's a couple of markets that you can buy at, and then you take those to the farmers market or to the flea markets to sell them. Well, that's not a farmers market. That's just vegetables that were sold at discount, and now you got to pay extra for them. So I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I just don't want to get involved in all the red tape. So we just sell out of our own stand. So yeah, Jason, we almost have to be invited to a market. Some of them we can get in if we just apply a few times, but thanks, MB. Some of them, you can apply 2 or 3 times and eventually they'll give you a spot. But a lot of them, we've been invited to sell at one of the better markets next year, and I just haven't decided whether I'm going to do it or not. I don't know. We've got to find a better place to sell it than where we are. We're not making much of a return on our efforts, but yeah, Hickory. We've got 3 or 4 big farms. We actually have one really big farm. What's interesting is, hold on, I want to read. Yeah, Homestead, I think you got a point. It costs so much too to go to the farmers market. Some of them are $50 a week, and we might only sell, $150 on a weekend. It's not a lot of money where we're at. Even the guys that I know that sell at farmers markets don't do that well. But one of the things that's interesting here is we've got a couple of big farms, big vegetable farms, and at least 2 of them, they're really helpful if you ever have a question or if you ever need a hand with something. Some of them have employees that work for them, and they'll offer to let you pay them hourly to come out and catch up on weeding and that kind of thing. We never have, but that option is there for us if we want. Yeah, Joe, we aren't allowed to sell at market in anything that has a label on it, unless it's our label. So we can't reuse anything. Some guys will put duct tape over the top and then write their name on it, but I don't know. That's a lot of work too. But if I'm missing anybody here, I mean, I hear people say that all the time on the lives. If I'm missing anybody, I apologize. Oh, Jacob's allotment is here. Thank you. 1:30. We got to find a better time to go live, bring folks down under in. Cray's Family Homestead. Welcome. Didn't see you come in. Tin Can Gardener. I think I might have said Heidi. I'm not sure. But I'm not, I like the selling off my own trailer. We just haul into town and we'll set up and try to do a little advertising on Facebook. And that's kind of how I got into YouTube. I was trying to do some advertising for it. And that's kind of how I started making the videos, was to try to promote it. So Cray's Family Homesteads, but I do that too. I sort of lurk sometimes on I don't type so fast. So it seems like when somebody's talking about something, I won't be able to make a comment while it's still relevant. So, well, I've got a question for all of you. This is something that's got me baffled. I've watched the number of views that I get on different videos, and how come I got so many views on that suspender video? that was kind of a joke. I ended up getting 500 views, which for my channel is that's one of my top 5, I guess, or top 4 even. How much are fresh? Joe, we get, I don't know what the conversion is, pesos to dollar, about 20 cents American. Yeah, each egg, well, yeah, I mean, we usually get, for farm fresh eggs, we'll get around anywhere from 350 to 450, depending upon the time of year. So in the summertime, it's 350 a dozen, pretty much. But when we if we have eggs in the wintertime, we've got to get 450, because if I'm going to run lights and heat so that they keep laying, I can't sell them for less than that. So, and then the other thing is we've got such a problem with raccoons and foxes. We lose, one night we lost 23 chickens, and so the next day there was one less red fox in the neighborhood, but it was too late. So yeah, micro farmer, that's what I'm finding. I think sometimes stuff you don't really expect at all is gonna do really well. But we can, Jules, we can trap. In fact, the way the regulations are here is if we have anything that's a nuisance. So I'm pretty sure we can trap all year round, for on the property, in the area where we keep our animals. I know I do, but I think you can trap all year round. We actually get people come in that want to hunt in the buildings. They want to go in and see if we've got any skunks or raccoons or woodchucks or anything. I've got a woodchuck now that's actually undermining one of my buildings, so I'm trying to get him caught and relocated. What we usually do, like I took 55 raccoons off the property the first year I was here, and we were getting $11 for the pelts. We didn't have to skin them or do anything with them. We just shot them and let them freeze, and then we brought them, or he'd come and pick them up generally, and we get about $11 a piece. Now I heard last that they're about $15, but we don't have too many of them around, at least not that I see. So the suspenders video, you putting a link up for it? Yeah, that was funny. Hey, Her Healthy Home. If I don't know if all of you have been over to Her Healthy Home site, she's got some really good things going on there. So go over to her site and sign up. Probably most of you know her because I met her through Shed Wars, so I'm pretty sure most of you know her. Kid Family Farm. It's good to have you here. Yeah, Hickory Farms. I don't know what he was doing with the raccoons. He was just picking them up, and I know he'd skin them out and rack them. I don't think he tanned them. I think he just put them on a rack, dried them out, and then sent them somewhere. So, hey, I would put up your link, Her Healthy Home, but I don't know how to do that right now. We'll figure that out one of these days. But trying to follow the chat a little bit here, but I'm terribly afraid of dead space on the air. When I was in college, I worked at a radio station, and kind of liked the job. It was a little bit boring, but I fell asleep and let the air go dead. And so since then, I guess I've always been afraid of dead air. So. Well, thank you, Voon. I think you put a link up there. Sue Gannon, hi. From Australia, hi. It's what time is it? And Homestead Oss, good to have you here. I don't know. I can't see how many people are in the chat. I don't know why I can't see that, but if somebody wants to post the number up here, 9:30 a.m. Sue Gannon. Well, good morning. It's 7:30 p.m. here. So thank you, Voon. You're a hard worker on these chats. I appreciate it. Holland Harry. I don't know if I saw you earlier. If you've been here, I apologize. But hello. Well, listen, guys, it's almost 7:30. We've been on this for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I guess. I'm going to say goodbye. I think for my first live, this has been a traumatic experience for me. I just let the kids say goodbye to you. And want to say thank you to everybody for coming by. You really have encouraged me. I appreciate it. And we're going to do this again. Probably, maybe I'll figure out how to do it next week. So good night to y'all. Emitzer Shem, I'll see you again. Eat your vegetables. I'm Chicken Johnny.